If you choose to stay in one of those evacuation areas, you're going to die.
Developing now at 4, Hurricane Milton has the Sunshine State in its crosshairs. Right now, thousands of Floridians are evacuating, cleaning up, or boarding up ahead of the strongest hurricane in nearly 2 decades. Right now, Milton is back to a Category 5 hurricane after it was downgraded yesterday. The massive storm has wind gusts clocking in at 165 miles an hour. Nearly all of Florida's west coast is under a hurricane or tropical storm warning, and 5.9 million people are under mandatory evacuation orders.
I want to urge everyone, if you've been ordered to evacuate, those evacuations orders are serious and you absolutely must follow them.
Milton is expected to make landfall tomorrow night as a Category 3 storm. Hurricane Helene hit that state just 11 days ago, and debris piles are still in many of the areas. Residents are worried those debris piles could go flying once Milton makes landfall. We have team coverage tracking this storm. Chief Meteorologist Shannon O'Donnell standing by with the latest. We begin with Dana Travis from our sister station in Clearwater, Florida.
It hasn't even been 2 weeks since Hurricane Helene swept past this part of Florida's Gulf Coast on its way north. Residents here in Pinellas County are still dealing with all of that damage, and now Milton is nearly on their doorstep.
I live in the beach. I lost the condo. There's no electricity, there's no plumbing, so I cannot stay there till they repair it.
We had extensive damage to both of our chimneys. We have a 4-story home, and both of our brick chimneys, the steel actually came out of the chimneys and was dangling.
It is not a good feeling to be in the midst of trying to recover from a storm and have to drop everything and pivot to preparing for a new storm. But we're doing our best.
Preparing for Hurricane Milton is different for everybody here in the coastal community of Clearwater, depending on whether they're evacuating or hunkering down trying to find last-minute groceries.
We're getting last-minute preparation, some last-minute ice, some food, just in case, who knows.
The cats and the dogs was out of treats, so I had to come and get some for them.
But with thousands of locals evacuating, gas stations all over this area are sold out and shut down.
I checked maybe 10, 15 gas stations. They're all out, and the few that do have really big lines. You got to wait for an hour. And this is the first one that I found that had sort of like they're also running out of gas slowly, but there wasn't that big of a line. So
all around Clearwater, storm shutters are up and boards cover windows and doors. Some homeowners writing on the plywood what part of the house they're covering, like a bedroom or living room. Others had a more direct message for the hurricane.
Everything is pretty much ready, as much as it can be. So now it's just, we're prepared, we're waiting, and now the only thing we can do is just hope that it's not going to be that bad.
New video from NOAA's hurricane hunters shows just how violent the storm is from the air. They flew into the storm to collect data. Video from inside the plane shows some crew members and equipment getting tossed around in the cabin. Earlier, Milton dropped heavy rain and brought strong winds in Mexico's Yucatan Peninsula. For more on the track of the storm, let's bring in Chief Meteorologist Shannon O'Donnell. Shannon.
Yeah, that's the big issue, is the fact that we have had so much rainfall already, not just from Helene previously this summer, but also because in the months leading up to the arrival of Milton, we have had so much precipitation in the state of Florida. Just been an extra soggy couple of summer and now early fall months. And so here comes the hurricane on top of it, and flooding, I think, is going to be the utmost of the concerns here. Still a monster Category 5 right now, sustained winds at 165, and unfortunately Milton is a slow mover. You love to see these hurricanes really start racing along because it has limited time to do its damage when that's the case. Right now it does look like Milton is going to start to weaken a little bit, and because it's going slow, the arrival time now just south of the Tampa Bay area will likely be very late Wednesday night into early Thursday morning, coming on board as a strong Category 3 storm, hopefully picking up some speed at that point. But in terms of precipitation, isolated locations in this swath between Tampa, Orlando, and back toward Jacksonville, where we could pick up an additional foot of rain on top of all that we've already seen in these very soggy summer months. And then also with that, the storm surge, which means that water gets lifted from the waters of the Gulf and starts to really start flooding some of those coastal communities. Mary will talk more about the track in the days to come, and our own forecast is coming up shortly.
Thank you. Stay with KOMO News through today and tomorrow for the latest developments on this massive hurricane. We'll have the latest reports for you on the air and always online.